Good evening. This is an in-person special meeting of the Bridgeport Board of Education. Today is Monday, July 21st, and it's 6:30. My name is Jennifer Perez. I'm the chair of the board. In person, we have Joseph Kolovic and Albert Cunningham. Online, we have Keisha Casimir and Andre Woodson. We'll start with the approval of the minutes from the special meeting on June 18th. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Bennett.
By Mr. Benahan. Is there a second? Second did by Mr. Sokolovic. Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I shall abstain.
One abstention. All right, it passes. All right, the next item on the agenda is approval of the agreement of the fiscal year 25 Catalyst Connecticut assessment at Bassett High School.
I am Marge Hughes and I'm presenting the Catalyst. There are two contracts for work that was performed in the 24-25 school year. They should have been brought up to the board when the other Catalyst contracts came up, but they were not. The first is for $35,000, which is Catalyst conducted a comprehensive school-wide assessment to develop recommendations for school-wide interventions to improve the school climate at Bassett. The second contract was for $58,000. For this contract, Catalyst coordinated and carried out self-programming at Bassett High School from March 1st to June 30th.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
Motion to
I have
approve.
one question.
But Ms. Gaspar,
I'm sorry, SEL, what does that stand for, please?
Social emotional learning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
any other questions? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve for fiscal year 2025, the agreement between Bridgeport Catalyst CTSEL programming at Bassett High School.
So moved.
Two.
Oh, sorry. That's me at Bassett High School.
There's a motion to approve the agreement for the fiscal year 25 Catalyst Connecticut assessment at Bassett High School. Is seconded by Mr.
Second.
Medigan. All in favor, say aye.
Hi,
Aye.
Any abstentions? That passes. The next item is the approval of the agreement of the fiscal year 25 Catalyst Connecticut SEL programming at Bassett High School.
I included that.
That you did, sorry, so we'll keep this motion. Is there any questions on that item? Any motion for them?
motion to approve the agreement for fiscal year 25 Catalyst CTSEL programming at Bassett High School.
Second.
I did a motion made by Mrs. Skolnick, seconded by Mr. Benahan. Any further discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? That one passes as well. Thank you, Ms. Hughes.
Thank you.
The next item is the approval of the position of Assistant Chief of Special Education. Continue.
Good evening. I am requesting to add the position of Assistant Chief of Special Education to address the department's needs related to IEP compliance, overseeing charter schools, out-of-district placements, and to address chronic absenteeism in special education. The need for this position was created due to needing to maximize our focus on specific areas related to compliance. While working with the state technical assistance team, we've identified specific areas of compliance within the special education department that require more focus and supervision. This position will assist me in addressing those areas. We would eliminate two positions to create this position, and those positions have been vacant for the last couple of years. Therefore, it would not be an additional financial impact on the district. And the anticipated savings in sustaining this position would likely be seen in a reduction of legal costs, also compensatory services that are being accumulated and owed to students, and also in addressing to bring students back into the district.
Have any questions for Ms. McKinley? On record show Ms. Medina joined online. Any questions for Ms. McKinley? Mr. Scholar?
Yeah, I get quite a few. How did we get so far behind in compensatory hours?
So there was a systemic complaint in 21-22, and we have been addressing those compensatory services. So the compensatory services are actually accumulated due to the vacancies. So whenever there is a class that does not have a certified special education teacher, then that's seen as that student not receiving their services. So the more that we have vacancies, the more that those services are accumulated. And just recently, we've started developing a plan to address the compensatory services, whereas there has not been a plan in place since they've addressed the services in 21-22.
Okay, so how would adding a position to central office decrease the amount of service hours if we're not increasing the amount of staff on the ground that provides those service hours?
So it would basically be a combination. So that individual, again, what is inspected gets done. So right now, there hasn't been a lot of oversight. So this individual would be responsible in continuing to work with campuses because it should be tracked on the campus level, but ensuring that we're also working with administrators to be very proactive and intentional in hiring certified staff. And if we aren't hiring certified staff, ensuring that we are addressing those compensatory services either before school, after school, or during the summer.
And if there's no staff to carry out those compensatory services, what then? Because I can understand if this person was actually going out into the field and providing these compensatory services and getting it down. But what I'm hearing is they're not being supervised enough to provide these hours, but they're short. We're expecting them to do more or less, or.
Well, no, not exactly. And so first, we have instituted and implemented and are implementing a lot of efforts to ensure that we are filling our vacancies with certified teachers. I have also sought input from our current teachers as to who's interested in providing compensatory services. And I have teachers that are very much interested in providing. It's going to cost us. So it's, it's a cost either way. It's either cost legal wise or in providing the supplemental pay to teachers to provide those services. So we do have teachers who are interested in providing those services before school, after school, and then during the summer.
I got it. Okay.
Good, Chair. I think to add to that, Ms. Kovic, I think one of the things that's important to know that part of the evaluation of the whole special ed program in the district is the boots on the ground. This person is going to be boots on the ground. They're going to be inside those charter schools, inside the school, making sure things are done the way it's supposed to be done from the start. Okay, so it's more of making sure that, if a charter school doesn't have a certified teacher in the classroom, what are we doing to help them hire a teacher, make sure that person's certified enough to be able to provide the services to our children, not only to our children, but the other kids there as well. So it's a long drawn out process. The state has looked again since 2021, and here we are going into 2025, 26, that the district has had this void. So this person is going to be able to help to really put a focal point on those things to try to help. One person in that division cannot do all of that by themselves. She has supervisors that are also going to be on the field doing the same thing, making sure there's a check and balances, protocols that were put into place to sum up that. So it's important that, from a systems perspective, we have to be able to do the things that, sometimes midstream change and make sure that things are being held people are being held accountable to providing those services for the kids and being able to let central office administrators know, or myself know, what do we need to do to help them help the kids. So it's just sometimes when you pull that onion back and you really look deep inside to that root cause, there's a lot of root causes of the things of why we're in the predicament that we're in. But how do we fix those things? And that's my job and my supervisor's job, my cabinet's job, to really dig deep into that and come up with a plan and figure out how we can get better at it. So this is about getting better at the process, right? So it's important to be able to oversight and look at that as well. And sometimes you have to have the higher level oversight to be able to pinpoint what needs to be done. But sometimes one person can't get it done, but the assistant can actually get in there and do a little bit more hand coaching, mentoring, or whatever needs to happen. So that's the hope for what we're trying to put into place now. And I think it's a really good plan. The state technical team has helped us really understand where we are. And even the state agency, based on the complaints that have been happening, the out of compliance pieces, they're working with us and giving us ideas of what other districts have done to mediate those issues. And so I think it's a win-win from my perspective to be able to kind of work through this. Special ed is huge in this district. And there are so many, it's almost what they call, a whack-a-mole. Every time you get one thing done, something else pops back up. And so we got to really be focused in what we're doing. And this is the way that we're going to be able to do it. A lot of training is involved. We have to retrain our people. So that's another piece of that as well. And it's first of all,
That addresses my programmatic concerns, but specifically, and that remains to be seen in my mind. I gotta digest that. Now to my favorite portion of the fence, money, funding, and how are we discovering that there's 2 jobs on field that all of a sudden have about $150,000, something like that. I can't recall the exact number. Was at the last meeting. This does cost money. It does impact the budget. In the last 2 consecutive meetings, so this is going to be probably $550,000 added to the budget in one way, shape, or form. Money can only be spent once. The 400 and change that was sent, put the positions back for 6 months at the last meeting. In addition to this potential $150,000, we have about $550,000 just for the sake of argument. And then this money is fungible. It could be spent on anything. It cannot be spent. It can be put in the ISF to keep us from making more cuts next year. So there is an impact on other portions of our budget and even on special education, because if I would like to know how many other positions are currently unfunded that we could bring back some of the positions, because we're approaching, we already passed where we could have brought back the arts. We're approaching, if we approve 2 more new programs or 2 new positions, that we could have brought back all the librarians. And the board has not yet sat down to set its priorities and what they would like to see the district bring back. And I would like to see that conversation happen sooner rather than later, because we are in control of the budget. We are in control of what comes and what goes. And so far, the only desires that are being brought to the table are the superintendents. And we saw how that worked out. Not no disrespect to the current superintendent, not saying it's the same thing, but we saw what happens when we take our foot off the pedal or hands off the wheel. That's all I got.
Any other questions?
Just a comment, Madam Chair.
Ms. Gassman?
I feel just the opposite. For many, many decades, we have been, our test scores have been challenged in reading and math. Special education is a huge problem in our district, a huge problem. This is our first step toward showing the state that we are serious about changing the status quo in this district. And I am behind this 100%. It needs to be done. Ms. Michelle can't do it all by herself, like Dr. Avery just said. There's help that's needed in this district. And if we're serious about changing what is going on and not just keeping the status quo, this is what's needed. The superintendent is telling us this. All these people who have higher degrees than we have that have been doing this work for years are telling us what they need. The teachers, when I asked them, why have we been, the kids' test scores have been low for so many years? Like, what do you guys need to help? The teachers are saying they need support. This is an example of that support. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to say something as a parent.
I'll,
Of
you
a
don't
special
have
moment.
yeah, have public comment, but you can sign up for public comment, future.
Okay, I will, because I'm interested in special education and she can do it by herself.
We can also speak with you after the meeting.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, has joined the meeting. Seeing no other questions, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the position of the Assistant Chief for Special Education.
Is there a second?
Second.
by- Thank you. So Mr. Chair, got the second, but, any further debate? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
No,
Digitally. No?
and no, with the just because it's unaffordable, not that it's not necessary, but it's just unaffordable at this time and in budget times.
Any abstentions? Seeing none, all right, that passes, thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is approval of compensation and agreement, terms of various executive positions. This does qualify for executive session, so is there a motion for, I'll read the positions, sorry. Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction, Assistant Superintendent of Human Capital, Chief Financial Officer, Chief of Special Education, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Information Officer, Assistant Chief of Special Education, Executive Director of School Turnaround, Executive Director of School Leadership. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
I think it was the executive session to discuss compensation orders.
Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? All right, we will go into the session of the board with, Dr. Avery and just Dr. Avery. Board members will send you the link, online. Okay. We're back from executive session. It is 8 o'clock. Is there, during executive session, we discussed compensation agreements for various executive level positions. So is there a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair. Motion to authorize Dr. Avery to enter into the compensation and agreement terms for various executive level positions as discussed in executive session.
Second, Mr. Banahan.
Mr. Benjamin seconds. Is there any further debate on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that one passes. The next item on agenda is public speaking. There were no public speakers signed up, so we can move on. And the last item is motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Everyone, God bless you all.
Thank you.